can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. It's me, Niall. Delighted as always to be joined by Owen, and we're here to give our final predictions for a very intriguing heavyweight clash this Saturday night between Britain's Fabio Wardley and the late replacement, the very capable and dangerous Justis Huni, who was also putting his unbeaten record on the line at Portland Road, of course, the home of Wardley's beloved Ipswich Town FC, the football stadium in East Anglia, England. So, yeah, Owen, I'm looking forward to this one. Let's jump straight in. I hope you're well as always. What is your final prediction for Fabio Wardley against Justis Huni this Saturday?
Thank you for having me as always. I think it's an intriguing matchup. Once again, it's a good amateur background versus absolutely zero amateur background, as we've seen in pretty much most of Fabio Wardley's professional fights. I think Justis Huni will just be slightly too good for Fabio Wardley. I don't think he'll get him out of there. I think Fabio Wardley showed a good chin against Fraser Clark. Obviously, Justis Huni's levels above Fraser Clark. However, he still showed good grit, determination. So, yeah, I think Justis Huni via points. A fairly close, unanimous decision. I don't think he'll necessarily run away with it, but I think he'll just be that little bit better.
Yeah, interesting take. I do think it's a very, very good replacement fight. We'll kind of discuss a bit more after that, but I do really rate Justis Huni as well. I think in terms of hand speed, really fast hands, spiteful puncher, good footwork. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins at all, but I can just never bet against Fabio Wardley. I really can't. He's one of my favorite fighters at the minute, as you say. No amateur background. We all know that the white collar kind of scene was how he got his beginnings, but that's what makes him so exciting. That raw aggression and yeah, that power is just a big, big problem. And I've bet against him before, Fabio Wardley, and I'm not going to make the same mistake again. So I'm going for a Fabio Wardley points with. No, I'll go late stoppage. I'll go late stoppage rounds, maybe 10 to 12. I think he will have hairy moments early, as I say, especially with Justis Huni, with the hand speed, the IQ, the feet, the footwork. And of course, fighters from that neck of the woods are also tough as hell. So I think Uni will take big shots, but I think there's only so many big shots you could take off Fabio Wardley, especially when you kind of like to sit in the pocket as much as Uni does and let his combinations go. So, yeah, I'm gonna go for a Fabio Wardley stoppage win between 10 and 12 rounds here, at Ipswich Town's football stadium. But I certainly can't wait. It's going to be a absolutely explosive one, surely, no matter what happens. But yeah, as we said, you're picking him to win, Justis Huni. He is a late replacement here, which kind of it shows the capability of how high level this late replacement is, that you're actually picking him to win, and I think you wouldn't be the only one. Jarrell Miller was the original opponent for this one, Big Baby Miller. Say what you want about him with his controversies or for maybe another video, but do you think Justice Uni is a better fight than the original fight? Like, how would you have seen a Jarrell Miller fight against Fabio Wardley play out?
I think it's difficult. I think Miller might have been a better fight because I think it'd be more of a firefight. I think Justis Huni will. I'd be surprised if his team don't tell him to box and try and avoid the firefights. Although, like you say, he is spiteful, he has got power, but his boxing pedigree, his levels above Fabio Wardley. Now, I know Fabio Wardley's proved on multiple occasions that means nothing fighting Olympians, Commonwealth Games medalists, European amateur champions, etc. Um, he's defied the odds multiple times, and I'm sure throughout his career he'll keep defying the odds. He's got a top 10 ranking with the IBF now. Um, I just think Justis Huni, there might not be as much fireworks with Big Baby Miller. I think Big Baby Miller's only got one sort of style that he can go with due to being about 27 kilo over what he should be, of pure muscle mass as well. We won't get into why that is. But yeah, I just think this is a completely different fight for me. I think if Huni can use his boxing IQ and ability get out with spiteful punches, keep it at a bit of a distance, and not let Wardley land big. Whereas I think Big Baby Miller almost has that ego and chip on his shoulder where he thinks he can't be knocked out, and he looks down on Fabio Wardley, especially with that song drama bollocks, whatever it was. I think he'd want to stand and trade and prove he was the bigger man in the ring. So it might not be for the casual viewer a better fight, this one, and I do tend to slightly agree with that.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of disagree with what you said there in terms of the style of Jarrell Miller. You know, he is a controversial character, but he is aggressive. He is a volume puncher. He does kind of have that one style, as you say, come forward. So maybe it would have been a bit more pleasing on the eye than this will be, but I still am excited for this one. I think there will be times where Uni will be drawn into a firefight with Fabio Wardley, and if he can take the power, Wardley's in for a big night of bother. But I do think that's going to be happening at some stage, especially Uni does like to at times. When he lets his shots go, as I say, kind of stay in that pocket and rip to the body. But yeah, it depends if, as I say, he can withstand that big power. But yeah, maybe we'll get Miller and Wardley again. Just kind of quickly before we wrap up, has would this be Wardley's ceiling? Could Wardley come back? He's already overachieved, massively, to be honest, with his background. But could he come again and maybe win European titles and maybe even have a tilt at a world title?
World title, I'm not sure of. It's hard to tell what his ceiling is. Has he just had the right opponent so far, where his power's almost got him out of jail in a sense, or if is it almost a case of now he's getting that experience? If he'd had an amateur background, is this level he should be fighting at? So it's a bit of a fight by fight basis for me. If he comes through this test with flying colours, Uni's widely regarded down under as one of their next big stars. I know Eddie Hearn rates him extremely highly. So I think if Fabio Wardley wins, in my opinion, although Big Baby Miller probably holds more stock, this would be a bigger win for Fabio Wardley. Justis Uni, I think, is a bit of a statement to show that forget the I haven't had any amateur experience. Forget that. I'm here now. That's irrelevant. I'm a problem. So I think it's a fight by fight basis. Even if he loses this, I think the current level he's at, he'll definitely come back. It's definitely not a lose and done scenario. I don't think he has to go back to fighting bums. If he does lose, maybe a little warm up fight just to get the guns firing again. But yeah, I think dependent on how he gets through this, I think why not give him a crack? He's ranked, like I say, top 10. I think he's just 10th now. If he beats a highly touted prospect, give him a big fight.
Yeah, I do agree. It'll be a big win this, especially if he wins decisively and a last minute replacement. Credit to Uni for taking his fight last minute, but credit to Wardley as well for, if he was to win, it'd be massive. And as you say, if he loses, there's no real pressure on him to kind of retire, or he's already overachieved, so there's no shame in losing to someone of the quality of Justice Uni. But yeah, let's see. It's definitely going to be an explosive one. I'm looking forward to it. Owen's looking forward to it. That was our final predictions, of course, for Fabio Wardley against Justice Uni. This Saturday night at Portman Road, the home of Ipswich Town FC. Someone's always got to go, as they say. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with our predictions? Are you going, let us know what you think. We're divided. What's your thoughts on it? Get involved down below. Please drop a like on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at ESBR Boxing and follow us on all social media. Owen, it was a pleasure and take care.
Cheers, mate.